Hello and good morning. It's Wednesday, December 1st, the 1st of December. Okay, the holidays are definitely upon us. Can't wait for Christmas and all that wonderful stuff. How about you, Frank? Frank Cooper is with us today. I'm Dr. Tony Rayo Sutherland. Welcome to Up to the Minute, and here is Frank Cooper.
Hello, ladies and gents, HCC Universe. Tony, what's going on with you today?
Oh, I'm just happy that the holiday, some people don't like the holidays. I am one of those that love the holidays. So there you go. You're either on one side or the other. I'm on the I love the holidays. How about you, Frank?
I'm a big fan of holidays. You know why? Because that means holiday break is coming upon us.
Ooh, yes. Very good. Very good. Well, we're gonna we may, I'm not sure, but we may go see a fashion opening at the end of the show, but we'll see. But before that, Frank, tell us how everybody can watch us and find us.
Absolutely. So right now we're on Facebook Live and YouTube Live as well. So to catch on the latest episodes of Up to the Minute, go to our YouTube page, put in HCC Up to the Minute for all latest interviews Monday through Friday. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And then also on the HC Access Channel page, we're on every day, Monday through Friday, 12 and 5, twice a day, Monday through Friday.
Very good, very good. Now, today we are going to focus on HCC's mathematics program, and it's a neat program. Some people love mathematics, some people don't, but our HCC mathematics program makes it fun. And we're going to talk to eventually Tim Sever. Timmer, how are you doing?
Hi, good morning, Tony. I'm doing fine.
Great. Well, we're going to come back and talk to you. But first, Frank is going to have a wonderful interview with Mike White, and Matt Iorio. How are you guys?
Doing pretty good.
Doing great. Glad to be here, Jim.
Okay, Frank, I'm going to give it to you. It's e-gaming or eSports. You know more about it than I do, so go for it.
Welcome to the show, Mike and Matt. Man, we heard so much about you guys, especially in Houston Business Journal. I mean, from what they say you guys are one of the best in town, man, when it comes to eSports, man. So, Matt, we'll start with you. So, in just a few words, what is eSports for the general public?
Esports it's basically video game competitions. That's our business. We have a team of players. They have coaches, support staff. It mirrors traditional sports in that sense, where it's a whole organization, it's a whole business, it's a whole career path for mainly kids that really want to compete and get into and play video games and make a career out of it. And it's grown really tremendously in the past couple of years and turned into something that people can actually do and can actually build into a long-term career.
It's funny, like being a kid growing up, having friends come over, like, my mom had like 8 or 9 of my friends come over, playing Madden, playing Double Dragon, whatever. I'm showing my age right now, talking about Double Dragon, but like, it was kind of like an esports type of vibe, having all your friends watch you play and compete. I mean, now it's a career, it's crazy how it's exploded. Like my little nephew plays on YouTube, watches, like, just people play video games on YouTube all day, every day. So Matt, I guess my question is for you is, how did you get started in it? And I understand you're a former player yourself.
Correct. And yeah, kids nowadays, you're not going to find a kid that doesn't play video games. It's the biggest form of entertainment in the world, and it's just getting bigger. And I think it's one of the few industries that the pandemic actually helped, really, because we're still running our tournaments online. We're still having our broadcasts shown on Twitch and YouTube and all these platforms. And all this stuff is done virtually, and that's how it's been for a while. So it was easy for us to continue the same business model during the pandemic. But to your question, yes, I was a former player as well on the Outlaws too. I've been with the team from the very start. I mean, I competed I'm a bit older too, so I get the Double Dragon reference. Not many people probably. I mean, most of the players that are playing, that are competing in esports at like the highest level are a bit younger. But I mean, I'm 32, so I'm like at the geriatric level in terms of esports. It caps out at about 25. But yeah, I mean, I've been competing for a very long time, about 10 years in different games here or there, with varying success. But when it came to Overwatch, that was really when I propelled my career to kind of like the world stage. Quote, we're part of the Overwatch League, which it's an international league, which is essentially like it's like any franchise sports league where there's teams from different cities all over the world. We have, like we're the Houston Outlaws, so we're the Houston team. There's a team in Seoul, there's a team in New York, Paris, London. So it brings in, it's a very international sport, and we, like I said, we're the Houston team, and yeah, I've been with these guys from the very beginning.
Now, Matt, so the Overwatch League, I'm glad you brought that up. So, is that different from esports, or is it similar? Like,
well, I mean, it's not different from esports. The Overwatch League is a little bit different from some esports are different. Like Overwatch League is a franchised league, right? So it is very similar to how traditional sports are run. There's some games that are not franchised that just run kind of like independent tournaments that still are very popular among fans and players too, but it's a different structure. Overwatch League is very structured and very traditional and professional, I think.
Awesome. Now, Mike, let's bring you in. So tell us a little bit about your live events pre-pandemic and how that's changed with the whole pandemic landscape the last 18 months.
Yeah, so pre-pandemic, the team first competed out in LA for the first couple of years, and then in year 3, they actually did the traveling circuit to where teams played for their first ever time in their home city. So for the first ever time, February 28th 2020, we brought the team to Houston, ran a event at the Revention Music Center, had over 4,000 people there over the course of 2 days. And it was it was amazing. It was people were there throughout the entirety of the day, an 8-hour, 9-hour event to watch the Outlaws play, to watch other teams play. Obviously, from there, the pandemic happened about a week later, shut down the entire country. For us, it did not end though. For us, it was, okay, how can we still be in the limelight? So we went to our crosstown rivals in Dallas, and we wanted to do a exhibition game called the Lone Star Challenge, to which case we continued the competition, where it was essentially from there, it was a series of challenges that led into a Battle for Texas that was also a 3-part docuseries that showcased on Texas TV across the month of May on all local TV stations. And then from there, we ran digitally all up until July 9th of this year, where we ran the first live event back in North America at a local restaurant here in the Woodlands, where we did a live watch party where the team played from the actual facility, but we had about a 60-person crowd. It was all vaccination requirements, and mask, people were able to wear masks. But it was really an interesting kind of dynamic where we were pre-pandemic live event standpoint, and then switching back to digital, which was kind of where the start of, esports began. And then now slowly transitioning back into this environment where we can have live and digital events.
Wow. So you guys are just spreading like wildfire, man. So Mike, I know you guys are expanding, right? From what I understand, from what I read.
Yeah, so we did. So us at Beasley Esports, the Houston Outlaws, we decided to want to expand our franchise, to expand our footprint into different esports titles. So after much consideration, we decided to expand into Rocket League. So we took a different type of team search where we were we went out, did an two open qualifiers, and just basically did a casting call for teams that compete in Rocket League to play in this tournament to eventually win contracts to compete under Beasley Esports under the Team Accelerate brand for entirety of the year for the next Rocket League Championship Series season that started in October, that runs until July of this next year. So we had over about 100 teams participate, over 100,000 views, and essentially we found our team. We got the Zookeepers, switched them to Team Accelerate, and it's been phenomenal watching these this team of players grow from essentially not having organization backing them to having now a full organization backing them to being actually full professional players, and actually achieving their dream and accelerating to success. So,
geez, 100 teams. My goodness. Is there a wait list for these matchups?
So so depending upon with the Rocket League Championship Series, there's different qualifiers that happen. So right now we're in a lullaby time before we hit the winter split that begins in January, but any team can actually join it. So for instance, us three on this call can make a team right now and join the open qualifier. Now the chance though is of us making it to the finals is very, that may be slim to none because you have other teams that, at the top of the world participating in there, but it gives you a chance to where you have the ability to make it to the world stage. So very different than the Overwatch League where you have the franchise teams that actually compete, very similar to NFL, NBA. Rocket League is kind of like an open qualifier, very similar to like a tennis tournament, I guess would be the best way to explain it, where you can still play against the top tennis players in the said tournament.
Okay, one last question between Mike and Matt. Who is the better esports player?
Oh, definitely him.
I think it might be me.
Yeah, no, definitely him.
A little confidence, Matt. A little confidence, man. Well, Mike White, Operations Director, Matt Iorio, General Manager of the Houston Outlaws, man, as well as former player. We have all your info in the post after the show, man. Thank you so much for you guys' time.
Thank you so much for having us. We love being here.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Tony, back to you.
Okay, well, that was fun. And I'm glad you talked to him because that stuff's, I'm one of those geriatrics on that.
Like a fine wine, Tony, get better with age.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you. Now we're going to go talk to Tim Sever. He is the Dean of Mathematics at HCC Southeast. And you got a lot of fun stuff happening with math. Math can be fun. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. Not just for us, the math guys, just as it was with the eSports. Nice to learn about eSports and the Outlaws. And you talk about the geriatric, and I know Frank dated himself a little bit there, but for me, video games were played in the arcade. There was no internet. There was none of that. So we actually had to put a quarter in the machine. You're going to want to go back to the real old school days. That's how it was.
Pinball machine. How about that?
That's right. Yeah. Stargate Defender was one of my games. There's no way you know what that is, Frank. Right. That goes way back to the 80s.
There you go.
I'd be surprised if you caught that reference.
I know Gattaca though, Tim.
Oh, yeah. Gattaca, right.
No.
That's right. So Tony and I probably the only ones who understood that.
It is spring 2022 is of course upon us, and you're going to resume something called Friday Math Jams. What is that?
All right. Well, thank you for asking. Friday Math Jams is our new initiative. We rolled that out this fall, and we're doing it for sure the co-rec courses, which are the Math 1314, College Algebra, the Business Math, Math 1324, the Contemporary Math, Math 1332, and Statistics, Math 1342. And we're going to do these for every Friday in the spring semester, except for, of course, the holiday Fridays. And then except for the last Friday, which would be like this Friday coming up, where we have our math days. That's our big final exam review session. So it's a big production. All of these sessions, the math jams and the math days, are led by full-time math department faculty. And they're just, extra support mechanisms for students to study and do well in our courses and get to know other math faculty as well. I mean, that's a little bonus there, but mostly about student success and retention.
Now you have something that you talked about. It's called On-Ramps Faculty Fellowship. Mm-hmm. What is that all about?
That's our partnership with the University of Texas On-Ramps program. So we right now have some professional development, if you want to call it that. It's this fellowship program where we partner with On-Ramps, and the focus is on rigor, student-centered instruction, pedagogy, adaptive learning, and inquiry-based learning. So we're just trying to get a new set of skills, so to speak, especially with the IBL, that's the abbreviation, or the acronym rather, for the inquiry-based learning for our faculty. We've run, let me look at my numbers here, 40 faculty have run through the On-Ramps Fellowship, 3,100 plus students. Over 25 different math courses have been served, and we're going to start our new cohort. It's a cohort-based model. We'll start a new cohort with a new Winter Institute, like January 6th or 7th or something like that. So we're very proud of that partnership. It's one of the many initiatives, and I know you know about some of the initiatives. You're mentioning some of them now that we have going on in the math department for our faculty and for our students.
Okay. And then we have the HCC Math Challenge.
Yes. Now that we developed that through my office, the dean's office. It's an internal competition, math competition. You talk about fun. Math is fun. Math competition. We had about 120 students 2 years ago. This is pre-pandemic. I heard that term a lot today. We had 120 students. I think our first year it was in person. The next year the pandemic hit, so we scrapped it. This year we're going to roll it out again in the spring. Still virtual, even though we're making a move back to in-person instruction, but it'll probably be conducted virtually. This year it was in person the first year, and it's just an internal math competition that we've developed here for our HCC students, and it was great fun last year. And with the winner, the top prize, received a research internship. We partnered with University of Houston downtown, and so not only did they get an iPad or some of these excellent prizes, they got actually to do some student research with one of our, let's say, sister universities in the area. Okay. Very good, great opportunities for students.
And then you have something called All Faculty Summits.
Yeah, so we just had one November 13th, and this is the big professional development production we put on in the math department for our full-time and part-time or adjunct faculty. It's not mostly about the adjuncts, but it's a theme of inclusion. We have our math department meetings, which are typically in the day. Most adjunct faculty don't have the opportunity to come because they're working someplace else in the day. They're usually adjuncting for us at night and et cetera, weekends. So this is a big opportunity for the full-time and part-time faculty together, have fellowship, but also engage in meaningful professional development that we have an array of excellent programming for our faculty. Centered on, rigor, student-centeredness, engagement. It's hard to find ways to engage in this new online forum.
Yeah, I know. Well, now, you said that you're partnering with U of H for a math study program.
Right. Really, my department chair should be here. Maybe we could schedule that. I mean, Mr. Mahmoud Basharat, the department chair, he could really extol the virtues of that program. I really don't want to do it a disservice by speaking about. We do have a working grant. We're on a grant with UH. In that regard, we're starting an equity-based grant with University of Houston downtown. I'm just unfortunately, not really prepared to discuss the details of that. And I apologize for that because I wanted to be ready to discuss it today.
That's okay. I mean, we know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a math department adjunct fair coming soon.
Yeah, that's something new. We haven't done that. So, we know there's a big adjunct fair coming up with the system, right? Shortly. It's on the horizon. I know you're aware of that. But we're trying to do our own internal, because we're still always looking for, competent, highly qualified adjunct faculty. So we're trying to put together our own adjunct math department fair to recruit more adjunct faculty into our system. Right now we're kind of at the limit of the number of courses we can offer because everybody's at full load. So we need more faculty if we want to have a chance to grow our programs. And as we think about returning face-to-face, we need to increase the number of face-to-face sections we have. We need more qualified faculty to do so. So it's just an internal effort to do what the system does for us very well every year, but we're going to do it ourselves and have another opportunity to recruit highly qualified adjunct faculty to benefit our students.
I love your background. I just think that's so neat.
That's my math. I put that on for y'all. It's my math and science background, and this is the one I like as well. It's kind of cool. Kind of like a gaming kind of motif a little bit in honor of our eSports colleagues.
Well, you have online math courses, and I said that because I love your background. And you might think math may not be fun online, but it can be, right?
Oh yeah, sure. We try to make it engaging. Now we do have a little bit of gamification, and maybe we could talk about that in a subsequent meeting. That's kind of new. It's not the eSports, but how we bring gamification into the class, in online classroom. And I've done it where the students compete, and they have a leaderboard, and it's not quite as competitive as what Matt was discussing in the eSports, but we do have those types of elements to try to make the classroom fun.
So that's great. Well, you convinced me. Math is fun.
Oh yeah, math is fun.
Of course it is. Well, Tim, we are so happy to have you on. I mean, and all those things, there's just so many things happening in the math department. You wouldn't think that there was that many things, but there's a lot.
Well, there's a lot. We have a lot on our plate, a lot of initiatives. I didn't mention Gulf Coast Pass. We have a lot of other things, too, that we're obviously doing. HCC is involved in the Pathways work, so therefore we're involved in the Pathways work. Math is fun. Math is beautiful. And, we have a little running joke with all the scientists, is math is an art. Math is really an art more than a science. And it is one of the most beautiful subjects on the planet. That's what we say. And that's what we want all of our students to hopefully see and get a glimmer of our passion for mathematics.
Well, I'm a musician, and math is music, or music is math. I mean, believe it or not, it really is.
Absolutely,
so yes,
right.
It is a form of art. It absolutely is. Well, Tim Sever, we are so happy for you to be on with us. He is the Dean of Mathematics at HCC Southeast, and we'll have information about all the things you were talking about after the show.
Thank you, Tony. Frank, thank you for having me.
All right. Well, let's go back to Frank. Frank, we have a lot of news and events going on. We have a fashion open house going on, but we're not quite ready for them yet. Maybe by the end of the show they'll be here, but we'll see. But in the meantime, we have student life activities. Tell us about that, Frank.
Absolutely. So Talk with Santa, 6 p.m. Thursday, which is tomorrow. It's a virtual event. Have a video chat with Santa, but it's first come, first serve. So get ready for that, 6 p.m. sharp tomorrow. And then also Winter in Wonderland through Friday, December 3rd. Come enjoy a tasty treat, a cup of cocoa, and a snap pic with Santa. So bring the kids, HCC community, everybody's welcome. We'll have the link in our post right after the show.
Okay, and then we have Dream Leaders. Dream Leaders at HCC will be hosting an induction ceremony via Zoom for newly elected officers. And the keynote speaker will be Marina Guerra, Education and Outreach Coordinator for the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission. And that will be on Zoom at 5 p.m. Friday, this December 3rd. And we'll have more information about that after the show. What else we got?
We got Rockin' and Rollin', an exposition of steamroller print works made by students and faculty of its ending. Called Rockin' Rollin' Prints, the event has been hosted by Print Matters Houston. Oversized wood blocks were carved at HCC Central Campus and printed using a steamroller for the event. So that's through Sunday, December 5th, HCC Southwest Loop Gallery, and it's absolutely free. So for details, contact Division Chair Catherine Fields at Catherine.Fields, Catherine with a K, at hccs.edu.
Okay, I turned off my mic for a second because my dog started going again. But anyways, Branding Academy, take control of your brand. That's very important. It's a do-it-yourself branding for small businesses. And we have 5 hands-on sessions that will be held at West Houston Institute. One is coming up called How to Create an Innovative Digital Marketing Strategy. That's from 8:30 to 10:30 and 11 to 1 p.m. Friday, December 10th. And then there's a website design 101, 8:30 to 12:30, Saturday, December 11th. So watch for that information. And then we have Dr. Nicotera. Tell us about him.
So HCC Coleman College for Health Sciences has nominated President Dr. Philip Nicotera for the TMC Post Hero in honor for his heroic efforts leading students, staff, and faculty through the challenging times of the pandemic. The college says that during its darkest hours of the pandemic, he motivated a college community and led us to light. While maintaining poise under pressure, he educated and informed more, so we feared less. So shout out to Dr. Nicotera, shout out to Coleman College and everybody there as well.
Great. And spring registration is here. I mean, it's coming up. It's right around the corner. We have 5 different ways that you can take a class: online anytime, online on schedule, hybrid, in-person, hybrid lab. And, we've explained it almost every day. But in case you don't know, we'll explain it again. But just know that you need to register now, and there's every kind of way that you want to take a class: online, in person, half and half, all those kind of things. So just go to hccs.edu/now. And now, before we talk about tomorrow, I just want to say real quick, I know we were trying to get him on, but just going on right now is a fashion open house over at our HCC's fashion department, and it is it's gonna be a wonderful thing. Our fashion department is internationally known, and they are the most creative people I think around. Don't you think, Frank?
Unequivocally. I mean, for Fashion to Passion, to all the events they throw every May in the fall season, all these students are very creative in the way that they create art, from dresses to different type of, suits and everything. It's really, really awesome. And I think we have Jim just now signed in, man. What's going on, Jim?
Hey, Jim, I know you're sideways, but talk to us anyways. Can you hear us? Let's see. Is his mic open? All right. Well, anyways, you can see sideways there that there's some neat things happening in the fashion department. Oh, well, there you can see it straight on. So I guess we can't talk to them right now, but it's going on until noon. So if you can rush over there and go check it out, that's a good idea. Anyways, tomorrow, let's talk about tomorrow. Kimberly Penn, HCC's new drone instructor from its continuing education program, will join us to talk about new offerings that it has. And then some other things later on, which are?
It'll be a virtual family fun day, followed by Film Friday, when Alfred Cervantes for the Houston Film Commission returns to tell us what projects are being shot in location around Houston.
Okay. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming. So stay with us all the rest of the week and every day, Monday through Friday from 10 to 10:30. And we will see you next time on Up to the Minute.